May I come in, sir? Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Please.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Lodh Prasanna.
Yes.
What is the meaning of the word Lodh? That's your first name?
That's my surname.
Surname?
Prasanna is my first name.
Prasanna. Okay. Okay, Prasanna, you are a medical doctor by profession,
Yes.
and now you are attracted towards civil service.
Yes, sir.
Have you forgotten the Hippocratic oath that you will always be faithful to your profession?
Yes, sir.
What happened to that oath?
Sir, the oath still continues in my heart and my mind. And the larger purpose of serving the society at a large, public health forms the subset of a larger part of administration. So, along with the public health, I would also like to diversify my energies and my opportunities by coming to the civil services. Also, I think that my medical knowledge won't go to waste. I have seen the situations where high efficiency is required, the criticality of time, the patients are in distress, and with limited resources, I was successful to pacify their pain and their grief. So this highlights my efficiency.
Okay. You know the extent of shortage of medical doctors in India. You know how much is the shortage?
Sir,
India will be losing a very good doctor and getting a good civil servant. You know the shortage of?
yes, sir.
How much is the shortage?
Sir, it's 1 in 1,000 of the doctor, public and private included.
19 lakh is the, in absolute terms, it is 19 lakh doctors. India is short of. Okay, anyway, since civil service is open to doctors, but you did not opt for medical science. That pains me.
Sir,
You were not feeling confident, or what happened?
Sir, I was confident. I was good at my academics in my college days also. Sir, but the prudent decision to go for the anthropology was after much of the thinking and deliberation. I arrived at a point that anthropology will be useful for other aspects of my future prospects also. As it deals not only has some part of the molecular biology and genetics, which is close to my medical graduation, but it also deals with the societal problems which we see daily around us. It also deals with the institution that we live in. So it is more humanistic of the sciences. So that's why I went for it.
You have interest in IFS. That's your number 3.
Yes, sir.
It's really heartening to know that. Do you know anything about the national health policy?
Sir, I have read something about national health
Yeah,
policy
that-
that was rolled out in 2017. It speaks about the comprehensive strategy and dealing the health as a subject in a holistic way. Various schemes were rolled out. We also are working. India is in a tricky situation of double burden of diseases, where on one hand the infectious diseases are on rise, on the other hand non-communicable diseases are also rising. We are also suffering from a very tricky situation of malnutrition, where on one hand undernutrition is a problem in some pockets and overnutrition is also a problem in some other pockets. To deal with all these health parameters in a holistic way, the national health policy has been rolled out by the government.
Okay. Let us discuss something about foreign affairs. Do you think that the United Nations has lost its relevance?
Sir, United
What
Nations.
bothers about the United Nations?
Sir, I don't say it like that. United Nation, the post-World War II institution for upholding the rule-based world order and a multipolarity of the world, is definitely an institute which is still relevant today. And I would like to go beyond that. That it is more relevant today than it was in past, because we are seeing a period of turmoil in our geopolitics, geoeconomics. Various factors are going against the integrated world order. So United Nation is relevant today.
Are we following the non-aligned policy?
Sir, it was an India's foreign policy for non-alignment a few decades back, but today we are living in a world which is shaped by the geopolitical considerations and geoeconomic realities, and India cannot be India cannot afford to be in a non-aligned entity in that sense. So we are after globalization, our economies are networked and integrated. So India is also integrating itself on a much larger pace. So we are.
India is not following the non-alignment policy. But is it tilting towards the west or towards other superpowers of this region?
Sir, as our Prime Minister recently said that India will exercise its strategic autonomy. We will deal with every country in our strategic interests and on case-to-case basis. We will not tilt, or we will not be in a block of some specific powers. We will be integrating ourselves with all the countries which are of strategic interest to us.
You see, in those times, in the Nehruvian era, India was following a non-alignment policy, but it was tilting towards Russia. Now we have a multipolar world. We have got superpowers, many superpowers. You've got USA, you've got Russia and China. So, how will you manage as a diplomat, as a foreign secretary? One day, if you get into IFS, you might become foreign secretary. How will you balance among the various powers like US, Russia and China?
Sir, among
It
this,
requires a lot of tightrope walking, that you must remember.
sir, this won't be an easy task, because the giants, the economic and political giants, which are the developed countries, they exercise a heavy clout of their diplomatic relation over the developing countries. But sir, we can definitely chalk out the path on the converging interests, the common minimum interests that all these countries will share with India. Sir, again I will like to say that with 1.3 billion of population, we are ourselves a self-sustained nation, which can create a diplomatic pressure on all the world powers for their strategic interest and as well as our strategic interest. So the converging interest shall be the guiding light for our future balancing act with the great powers.
What are India's prospects of entering the United Nations Security Council as a permanent member? Any hope in the near future?
Sir, yes sir, I feel hopeful that the expanded and reformed and inclusive Security Council or the United Nations is the principle that India always support. That's why we are also having the G4 grouping, where India, Germany, Japan and Brazil support each other's claim to become a permanent member of United Security Council. Also, we ask United Nations to be more inclusive and representative, because the whole continent of Africa is missing from the UNSC. So India also supports the bid for other members for permanent status in the Security Council.
We talked about bipolar world. Now it's a multipolar world. What is a bipolar disorder with a doctor? I am tempted to ask you about that.
Sir, it is a psychiatric disorder found in the patients suffering with the split personality episodes, which is not only guided by their
Is it a part of schizophrenia? Or?
Sir, bipolar disorder has a distinction from schizophrenia because it is guided by the chemicals of serotonin levels, serotonin uptake levels, dopamine and endorphins. Sir, under the episodes, the person tend to be under the control of the neurotransmitter deficit that is created, and the personality is split. The mood swings and the abrupt violent behavior or the sudden excitement, these are some characteristics that a bipolar shows.
Is it curable?
Sir, unfortunately, most of the psychiatric diseases are not curable, but they are treatable. So they can be treated and they can be controlled, but 100% cure is still not a fact.
Achha. One last question about, since we have studied anthropology, how many total tribes are there in India?
Sir, exact number I don't know, sir.
You have no idea?
But sir, 6,000 around the tribes have been registered.
How many?
6,000 around tribal.
Total tribes.
Sir,
Has there been any census?
sir, I don't have the
Yeah.
knowledge, but particularly vulnerable tribes are there.
So, by the way, when is your interview in UPSC?
So 31st March.
And how many mock you have undertaken?
Sir, this is my fourth.
Fourth.
You put IFS at quite a high position in your references. Does the Brexit provide an opportunity to India? You take it as an opportunity?
Sir, Brexit was a sovereign decision by the British people, and there are bound to be challenges as well as opportunities for the whole world. And in case of particularly with India, the Brexit will be an opportunity to renegotiate our deal with the Britain. Also, sir, the pound sterling, the value of pound sterling is supposed to go down post Brexit.
With reference to?
Post Brexit with reference to euro. So Indian students will get benefit who are working in there. Indian tourists are also a major people to people connect mechanism. The Indian tourist will also benefit with the lowered prices of the pound sterling. Plus, sir, Indian diaspora there, the people to people connect will increase, and we can renegotiate the bilateral deal with UK because they are also in search of the skilled professional, and the service sector will be the common binding. The financial services will bind London and New Delhi.
What has been the international community's reaction to CAA?
So the Citizenship Amendment Act is a sovereign decision. It's an internal matter of our parliament.
And what has been the reaction?
The reaction by various international communities, they have their considerations and apprehensions about this act. The way the international media is projecting this Citizenship Amendment Act and the related protest in a selective kind of journalism, that is creating the apprehensions in the mind of the countries and nations, specifically the Muslim nations and the European nations. Sir, we have.
What has been US reaction to it?
Sir, the recent visit by the President of the United States has reaffirmed that the Citizenship Amendment Act is India's internal matter, and they don't have an official stand on it. Though religious freedom was discussed between the two leaders.
Can you mention recent Supreme Court judgments which to your mind are outstanding?
Yes, sir. Sir, last year was full of the great judgments delivered by our apex court. The first one was the Sabrimala judgment, in which the constitutional morality and institutional morality were at the crossroads, followed by the decriminalization of adultery, which was not only the gender biased law, but also it is an archaic and colonial. It was an archaic and colonial section. Followed by the triple talaq judgment, the empowerment of Muslim women. That was also a good judgment. And the title dispute case, which was sluggering in our Indian recent past of the Ayodhya judgment. The Supreme Court has shown a way out of it. So that is also a issue which is resolved. So these were the.
So you must be keeping track of the developments in the MEA, External Affairs. The day Mr. Singla took over, he made some structural changes in the MEA. Can you recollect any of them?
Sir, I have read about it, but not able to recall it completely. But commands and the desk of the foreign officers relating to Africa and Indo-Pacific has been increased.
Only these two?
He has increased many diplomatic desks on the MEA
No, but
office.
what has been the underlying thought?
Sorry, sir.
No, okay. What was the practice of Jawhar?
Johar. Sir, Johar was practiced in the medieval times mostly in the Rajasthan, where the women would self-immolate themselves in view of being caught by the enemy. So that was the act of Johar practiced mostly by the Rajput community in Rajasthan.
Has Chandrayaan 2 failed or succeeded?
Sir, Chandrayaan 2, the Chandrayaan 2 didn't make it for the intended purpose that it was built, but definitely it was a watershed moment in our space exploration. So it is not a complete failure, neither it's a complete success. It's just about the rough landing part, and we will overcome on that.
In anthropology, what was the uniqueness of Indus Valley civilization in the context of anthropology? Indus Valley civilization.
Sir, Indus Valley civilization was unique in many of the aspects. The egalitarian society they highlighted.
What evidences?
Sir, except for Mohenjo-daro, the citadels were not found in other side. Plus the robust trade and commerce they exhibited through their seals. The well-developed plan of urbanization with covered gutters, double-storied buildings, the cross-square roads of the town planning, the use of bricks, the focus on sanitation and hygiene. These were far from the time that they belonged to. These were some of the significances.
Okay, I'll take you now to the extracurricular activities. What do you like to cook?
Sir, I cook. I
What
like to
is
cook
Indian cuisine?
Sir, the Indian dishes specifically, I cook them.
Which are not Indian dishes?
Sir, what my mother used to cook in kitchen, I just got to know about that. So Indian.
How can you call it Indian dishes? Your mother may be cooking Italian. Also, she may be making pastas for you. You will call that Italian.
Sir, Indian dishes with Indian spirit in it, what we see around the thalis and the Punjabi or South Indian food.
So you mention any of them.
The spices we use, the curry is something which is in Indian.
The common spices for pasta, for spaghetti, for Indian curries.
Sir, we never cooked it at home.
No, but you mentioned Indian cuisine. I would like to know what you cook in Indian cuisine.
Sir, a wide range of Mughlai, Punjabi and South Indian dishes.
Mughlai is Indian exclusively, or it has some other?
Sir, it is. So cooking is like that. We have shared
It has its origin from Persian. So how will you call that Indian cuisine?
Sir, we have developed an Indian taste to it. Though we cook Chinese in our.
What is the origin of Galoti kebab?
Sir, Galoti kebab was. It has its origin in the Nawab of Lucknow, when he was a very admirer of the non-vegetarian cuisine, but with old age he was not able to chew down the meat. So he asked his royal chef to come with something that will be a natural essence of meat will be preserved, but will not be required to chew a lot. So the Galoti kebab was invented by.
Last question. Pets. Don't you think it's cruelty on the animals to keep them in your house, not let them roam around?
Sir, if we keep them as not only just pet but as a part of our family and extend our
They are still
compassion.
pets. They can't become family.
Sir,
They still remain as pets.
Sir, human domesticated the dogs and cats, the domesticable animals thousands of years back, Now they have assimilated themselves in our way of life. The stray dog has a less chance of survival as compared to a domesticated dog. So indeed, it's a compassionate thing to do.
Is there has there been some study that the stray dogs live lesser, they have a lesser lifespan than the pets?
No, sir, I don't know about this empirical study, but the way I have seen things, the more road accident deaths of the stray dogs, the more rabid infections they get, as compared to that, the domesticated animals do well.
How
in
many
their life.
pets can you think of?
Sir,
Name 5 pets.
Sir, I currently domesticate cow, buffalo, dog, cat, 4 cats. Poultry we used to have few years back, but we don't.
But can you call them pets in that manner? Can a poultry become a pet?
No,
You
sir.
won't respond. Then how can you call it you mentioned, I am surprised that you mentioned poultry as a pet.
No, not a pet, sir. We domesticated the animals, but
Domestic animal is different from pets.
yes,
No? Is there any advantage of a pet?
yes, sir. Pets are stress busters. When we go back to our home by evening, they are the unconditional love they offer, they extend to us without any expectation. That is very rare these days. So,
Mention 2 hybrid dogs.
sir, right now I can recollect Labrador, German Shepherd, Doberman.
German Shepherd is a mix of.
Sir, I don't have specific knowledge, but Wolf, the third one, 2 and 3 of German Shepherd has something to do with the wolf and the fox. Something.
Are elephants also pets? Can they be taken as pets?
Sir, in ancient Maharajas, we have.
No, even today.
Some of the pockets of Kerala, Assam, they do have domesticated elephants for the temples of Kerala. They do have the Jambu Savari of Mysore Maharaja. They
A
still have.
recent elephant died very recently. Do you know the name of that elephant? Very famous, one of the most famous in Kerala, in that Guruvayu temple.
Sir, I
Don't
can't
recall.
recall that.
So we'll start with the sir. That last question he has asked about that pet and the stray dogs. There are 2 types of opinion among the resident, who is just some of the favor of stray dogs, some of the no, we have to keep it away, just to the dog bite to the people and all. What is your opinion?
Sir, the stray dogs, if the population is going out of control, it's indeed a challenge. We need to vaccinate them. We need to make the surgery, the NGO will do the job of population control through the surgical vasectomy of the dog. That is one step we can do without being inhuman to them. Another thing, sir, that
Related to one more question that his sir has asked about that Indian cuisine. So there are many types of that biryani you have seen in the market and it's available. What kind of biryani you find it that how many types of biryanis in the market?
Sir, in Indian context, there are 3 popular biryani. One is Hyderabad Kachi Dum biryani, another is Lucknow Kesar biryani, and one is, sir, the Tamil Nadu style of biryani, the South Indian style of biryani, the Donne biryani of Karnataka and Kerala, Tamil Nadu region. Sir, most I like to cook, and the delicious one is the Hyderabad Kachi Dum biryani, where the mix of the aroma and spices is in such a proportion that it enhances the flavor and the taste to many times as compared to other biryanis.
Have you been cooked that biryani?
Sir, many times.
So what that kind of preparation you have to start? How that you proceed?
Sir, firstly we have to, the authentic Hyderabadi biryani is about the quality of the meat you use. It must be fresh, the lamb must be clean and tender. Then the basmati rice should be of good quality. We use sadhu basmati rice. Sir, the marination is the important process. For 6 hours we need to marinate into the spices and curds and the lemon. And on the bottom of the thick copper vessel, we need to put this marinated meat and parboil the rice. The first rice 40% cooked, followed by 75% cooked and 90% cooked. We have to close the with wheat dough and create a proper dum. The charcoal tastes good, but even the recent electric or gas heaters can also do. But charcoal biryani is the best biryani.
How much time you just need to prepare that entire biryani?
So marination 6 hours. Other than that, it's just 1.5 hours.
So altogether 7.5 hours.
Yes.
Now come to that the question related to that your health sector. Suppose you are a Secretary of Health. The situation in India to control that coronavirus. What kind of step you have to take to control the entire things?
Sir, firstly, we are a tropical, semi-tropical country with hot and humid climate. So, coronavirus virulence and dispersion will not be an issue that to that level which temperate countries will face. First thing. Another thing is the specific the hit zones like Hubei province, Iran, the Italy. These patients coming from here, we need to quarantine them. Look for the observation. The thermal imaging techniques can also be used to detect the core body temperature along with other symptoms. We need to segregate, isolate such patients, and we need to monitor, create the data framework. It is only that the Kerala has reported the cases in initial days because of the Chinese traveling. They had a history of Chinese traveling, but outside Kerala, the prevalence was not, the outbreak had not occurred because summer has reached the Kerala. So we have a benefit climatic conditions also. So just awareness, precautionary measures, and avoiding crowded places. These are the some preventive steps that we need to take.
Recently, what kind of the disease really taken the life of the people of Maharashtra? In last 1 year, I think so. If you take a time span, that is the last 1 year.
Disease in Maharashtra.
Diseases.
Okay, sir. The Maharashtra has the Mel Ghat region of Amravati, the highest malnutrition death of the children. The maternal mortality there is also high. This has something to do with the undernutrition. Followed by the Mumbai and Thane pocket, we have the prevalence of dengue in the monsoon months. Many people die because of the mosquito bites there. So another following disease is the urban culture rising, the consumerism and the fast food culture that is now in our lifestyle. So non-communicable diseases and cancerous deaths are also increasing in Maharashtra.
And what about the H1N1?
Sir, swine flu outbreak was in 2015-16, but the mortality, sir, I don't know about.
Is plastic toxic to the human?
Sir, there are no substantial grounds of plastic being directly toxic to humans because the very quality of plastic being chemically inert is the cause that it is produced on a large scale because it does not react with most of the things that it comes in contact with. But the microplastics, the microbeads which are now getting in bioaccumulated through our food chain, that is a thing. Plus it has chemical toxins like dioxin and furan, but sir, that comes after the combustion. So directly plastic is chemically inert and not toxic for a human.
If a hot tea, you just keep it in a plastic to take away from that shops, can you think that is be a toxicable?
So the moment plastic will come in contact with the heat, sir, the dioxin or the furan chemicals will percolate in the tea and making it unfit for human consumption. So plastic is chemically inert unless and until the temperature is normal. The heat will make it toxic, definitely.
You are also a president student council. Don't you think that the student council election has stopped in India due to the recent some of that incident had happened?
Sir, there was an unfortunate incident of killing of a professor in Madhya Pradesh. I remember as Bhopal. So after that, the blanket ban was put on the student election because it turned violent. But sir, the Lingdao committee was appointed. Lingdao committee has given recommendation that many of our bright leaders has come from the student movement. So student movement shall be regulated but not banned as a complete measure.
You have passed out your MBBS with the government hospital.
Yes.
Suppose you have paid the same fee for the private hospital, it must be a much higher side you have to pay.
Yes, sir.
Once you finish your MBBS and internship, then thereafter, the government won't or the India won't your service. Now you have to change and come for the civil services. Don't you think that you have to stop a person who is a very good candidate for the MBBS? Then why you taken that decision? Because you have just stopped one seat for the regular student.
Sir, I have completed my graduation from a public government medical college. and I also completed my mandatory bond service, which was I was mandated at the time of admission of 1 year compulsory service to the government of Maharashtra. I have done 2 years of compulsory service. Sir, other than that, being in civil service is not a bar to extend my practice to the patients. Even we have example of Sir B.C. Roy, who was the Chief Minister of Bengal for 16 years, but he still practiced his medicine knowledge. He diversified the bureau executive, he diversified the health structure, he governed the state successfully, and he also practiced in OPD whenever time permitted. So sir, I'll also plan for extending my services free of cost to the needy people whenever time is there in my civil services career.
What is new in this union budget from the health perspective?
Sir, the Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya PMJAY, Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, the Ayushman Bharat, the budget has been increased for health and wellness center as well as the secondary and tertiary care. Other than that, Desh Jitega TB Harega campaign has been launched recently. So we have set a very ambitious goal of eliminating tuberculosis by 2025. These are the highlights that I
My
remember.
last question, how many Jyotirling in India?
Sir, there are 12 Jyotirlingas in India, 5 are in Maharashtra, 1 is in my own district, Parli Vaijjanath, where recently the Prime Minister visited, Krishneshwar in Aurangabad, Trimbakeshwar, Bhimashankar in Nasik, and 1 is in Hingoli district.
Ishwar is in Nasik.
Trimbakeshwar in Nashik.
Trimbakeshwar,
Shankar is not in Nasik.
Pune, near Pune. Bhimashankar is near Pune.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Prasanna. Your mock interview is over.
Thank you, sir.
Now we would like to give you some pieces of advice. Your articulation is very good. You speak very good English,
Yes, sir.
and your confidence level also is very good.